Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about transits. Today it's about the month of October and the monthly transit update, the monthly horoscope based on certain transit positions and what are the kind of positive effects and certain challenges that the month of October is bringing for all of us. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. I use the sidereal zodiac, Chitrapaksh Ayanamsha, to read the planetary position, Vedic astrology system. Month of October will see the biggest movement of the year, which is the transit of Jupiter from Gemini to Cancer. This year, Jupiter is changing sign twice and it will give us a feeler of what possibly can happen next year. Venus is going to change signs, it is going to enter debility. Saturn is going to continue its retrograde motion, but it will be under the beneficial aspect of Jupiter after 18th of October. Mercury is going to change signs. We're going to see a 3 planetary conjunction between Mercury, Mars and Sun in the sign of Libra. Venus certainly will be under affliction because for the first week it will be with Ketu. Thereafter, it will enter its debilitation sign where it will be in a mutual aspect with Saturn. Understand how the month of October will have an impact on all of us. What are the kind of renewed energies, positive enthusiasm that this month is building for all of us. Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this transit report from the ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. I'm going to talk about the most important planetary updates, some of the shifts, what you could expect in the month of October. Let us begin with your 9th Lord and the 12th Lord, Devaguru Brihaspati Jupiter. Till 17th of October, it is making its last leg of transit in your 3rd house in the sign of Gemini, where it has been Maran Karak. Therefore, Jupiter losing its signification. Now, post 18th of October, the second half of the month, you do have an opportunity. And this opportunity is bringing a renewed sense of enthusiasm, positivity, and filling your life with comfort. Because the trinal Lord Jupiter, who rules the Bhagya, fortune, long journeys, your higher education, is entering the quadrant house, which is your 4th house of the comfort space. So it is creating a yoga in transit. And this transit can also trigger a movement for you. This movement might fructify sometime next year. But you can start putting efforts with regards to this movement if you're planning to change countries or make a significant movement. Because Jupiter will be alone in this transit. It will be free from any malefic influence. No aspect of Rahu. It will be aspecting the retrograde Saturn, who is making a transit in your 12th house. Saturn is looking back at the 11th house. Saturn is also aspecting your 6th house by the 7th strong aspect. So it is going to elevate its quality, bring in new ways or mediums of income, and also put in a renewed focus on your health and well-being. This is a given. So there is positivity that is coming. Second half of the month, your quadrant houses, Kendra houses, will see the placement of Jupiter, Mars making a transit in the 7th house, Mercury will also join this Mars, and Sun is also going to join in the mid of October. So there will be 4 planets making a transit in your quadrant houses, which are the pillars. Second half of the month, your decision making is going to be extremely positive. So in case you have some new beginnings, some things that you've planned, if you could defer it post 17th of October, that will be good for you because your decision making will be absolutely positive if it is related to your work, if it is related to your relationship, and all the matters pertaining to yourself. It is a very positive time period for you. Let us talk about Mars or Mangal. That has been making a transit in the sign of Libra, which falls in your 7th house. It continues to do that. And towards the end of the month, it will move in Scorpio in your 8th house. Now, Mars will be forming a yoga with Sun, Surya, your 5th Lord. So, the Lagna Lord will be conjoined with your 5th Lord after 17th of October in your 7th house. Though the house placement for both Mars as well as Sun, it is weak. There will be 3 planetary conjunction. Mercury will also be joining. Sun will be in debility, and there will be no cancellation of debility as well because the Lord of Libra will also be in debility. So relationship matters will be quite sensitive for you because the Lord is making a transit in the 6th house and you have to be very careful. You have to protect your relationship. See, Mars is Maran Karak in the 7th house. Mercury is also Maran Karak in the 7th house. Therefore, they are losing significance, and these are bachelor grahas. They believe in celibacy. Okay, so therefore, they do not have the domain knowledge of this house. Sun is the significator of the first house. It is in the opposite house, western direction, where sun sets. So the energy levels are low. So therefore, you have to protect your relationship at any cost. Though if you are married, your partner or spouse can go out of the way to help you, to protect you. There are two natural malefics making a transit in your 7th house, which will make you very much giving in nature. It will make you forgiving. So you might have to forgive some people. You might have to, of course, change your thinking, be a good listener, and enhance communication in your relationship to ensure that you protect. Matters are going to be sensitive. But since these 3 planets are going to be aspecting your ascendant or the Lagna, where there is a leadership potential with energy, rigor, and also the power of communication. So you're naturally in an authoritative position. So keep your ego aside and try to stay as grounded as you can. Mid-October till mid-November, things are sensitive from a relationship point of view. In terms of work, you will grow. In terms of spirituality, you will grow because Jupiter is activating your 4, 8, 12, the Moksha trine, which you have to believe that you need to increase your spiritual practices, your spiritual sadhana. Any effort that you put, the power of labor is being supported by Jupiter, and this is how you will look up to this transit. This is how you will read this transit. May you have fresh beginnings. Continue to strengthen your 5th Lord Surya. Offer water to Sun first thing in the morning. Do that consistently over the course of next 1 month, and you will have a blessed time ahead. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of October, where there are significant shifts because the biggest planet of them all, Jupiter, is going to enter its exaltation sign of Cancer. Venus, your Lagna Lord, is going to be changing sign. So there is a word of caution that I'd like to bring to your notice in the month of October, more so till the beginning of November. First 9 days, Venus will be conjoined with Ketu. It will come in close degree with Ketu. That is happening in your 4th house. Though Venus gains directional strength in the 4th house, but it is also under certain affliction. Throughout the month of October, it might not be the most ideal time for you to make important decisions because your decision making is going to be on a weaker side. Now, Jupiter's transit will definitely strengthen your relationship, your desire quotient, your personal life. But physically, you might feel low in terms of energy. Your decisions might lack confidence, might lack self-esteem, and this is something which you have to build. So you have to continue to remedy Venus throughout the month. On 9th of October, Venus enters Virgo, where it will be in debility. That is happening in your 5th house. For a brief period, it will be conjoined with Surya. So when Venus and Sun make a conjunction, it is always positive for relationship point of view because it brings a sense of loyalty and sensuality also in relationship. So it is very good from an emotional as well as physical point of view and an ethical point of view as well in relationship. Now thereafter, Sun will be entering the sign of Libra, which is in the 6th house in its debilitation sign. But since this is happening in the 6th house, 17th of October onwards, this is a cancellation of debility. And Surya will also be conjoined with Mercury, who is your 5th Lord, and Mars, who is the 7th Lord, making a transit in the 6th house. Relationship matters are going to be utmost sensitive. But since these 3 planets are making a connection with your 12th house, your 6 and 12 axis is very strong, wherein Mercury could probably create some skin related issues, some issues with regards to your immunity, and this is something which you have to continue to build. Since there is too much of fire in your digestive system, 6th house represents your digestion, you need to ensure that you drink enough water and take care of your diet because you can have some stomach related issues. Take care of your stomach, take care of your kidneys, and of course all the area that is below your stomach. This is where you have to be cautious. Now Mercury is going to be making a transit in the friendly sign most of the time in the month of October. Towards the end of the month, it will enter Scorpio, that's in your 7th house. So that's a positive transit for you. Look up to Shri Hari, Lord Vishnu, to strengthen this time period. Channelize your 6th house energies in a positive manner. Use the mantra Om Vishnave Namah, which is a 6-syllable or a Shadakshari mantra. Now Saturn, who is the Yoga Karaka Graha for you, 9th and the 10th Lord, he is the one who rules your Dharma and also Karma, your fortune, Bhagya, and also work, your profession. Its 11th house transit is absolutely very good for you throughout the time, because this Saturn is in a yoga. It has been making a retrograde transit, probably creating some discomfort with work-related scenario, making you think, making you reflect whether you're in the right place or not. But after 18th of October, when Jupiter enters your 3rd house in its exaltation sign, though it will be Maran Karak, but due to its Ucha Rashi, it will still be extremely supportive here. In spite of having not so good lordships in your case, and also an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord Venus, because it will be aspecting your 7th house. So it's going to protect the matters in terms of relationship. It will not let your relationship break. It will also be aspecting Shani by its 9th special aspect. So any delays that you are experiencing with regards to work related matters between 18th of October till mid-November, you can have some progressive time period with regards to work related matters. New opportunities can fructify. If there was a delay in projects, assignment, new work, now you will see some movement. The power of labor will have wisdom along with the hard work that you put in. So absolutely it will create favorable circumstances for a rise in your income. Any efforts that you put will see expansive tendencies. Your 3-7-11, which is the trine of desires or the karma trine, will be very active throughout the time. Take stock of your desires. Take these desires in your control, in your hand, and try to channelize in the most appropriate manner. Try to build meaningful, long-lasting relationship. Avoid any important decisions pertaining to your family, pertaining to your finances, and where personally you are involved. Try to defer it till November, because this is when Venus will be out of debility and it will have some support as well for you to take the right kind of decisions. Continue to worship Lord Vishnu and strengthen your Mercury throughout the month of October. Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. So what is happening in the month of October? We're going to witness some massive changes, some positive developments from a transit point of view, because Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati, will be entering Cancer, its Ucha Rashi. Venus will be debilitated. So one guru is exalted, the other is going to be in its debilitation sign. Surya will also enter its debilitation sign. And there is a major shift that is happening. But October's month is bringing some positivity as well in our life, some renewed enthusiasm and the much needed optimism. Now your ascendant is lorded by Mercury or Buddha. So let's talk about Buddha's transit. It's been in the exaltation sign. Thereafter it will move to the 5th house in the sign of Libra, and this is where it will spend the majority amount of time in the month of October. Towards the end of the month it will enter Scorpio. But what is happening is that the first half of the month is extremely positive for you to make some important decisions, because your level of confidence is going to be higher than usual, right? Because Surya is in the 4th house, okay, and Jupiter is making the last leg of transit in your ascendant, which promotes good decision making, which promotes confidence and the use of knowledge as well as wisdom. And Jupiter has been regulating its pace, bringing in renewed sense of optimism. Mercury will see a 3 planetary conjunction, your Lagna Lord. It will be under the influence of Mars and Sun. Sun's influence of Mercury is very good. There will be a beautiful Buddha Yoga in the second half of the month. That is happening in your 5th house. So any learning that you take during the month of October, you can be more creative. You will also have a lot of energy that you will demonstrate in your learning. So you will be an enthusiastic learner. You will demonstrate plenty of energy. You might want to learn plenty of topics, but try to stay focused. Mercury is bringing a lot of logic, Sun is bringing leadership, and Mars is also bringing some sort of reasoning here, because both of them towards the end of the day are analytical grahas, right? So anything that you learn in the second half is absolutely beneficial for you. Devaguru Brihaspati, who is your 10th lord, is making a transit in your second house on 18th of October, creating a Simhasana Yoga. And he is also aspecting Saturn by the 9th special aspect. Though by the short transit of Jupiter in Cancer, the sign of Pisces is getting activated because this is being jointly influenced by Saturn being placed there in the retrograde motion and under the aspect of Jupiter. So Bhagya is going to rise. Some work related developments that could be extremely positive depending on your ongoing Dasha, Antardasha, Pratanta Dasha. Initially you might face some obstacles, some opposition, some sort of uncertainty, but you will see some positive momentum in terms of rise in your income or a new work related opportunity or a shift, and that shift can come all of a sudden. Things can become very, very progressive towards the end of October, later half of October, with regards to work related matters. If you face some delays in terms of paperwork, in terms of what you were doing, so now you will see some momentum. Now the most important planet for you is Venus, who is the Yogakaraka planet for Gemini Ascendant. He's your 5th lord and the 12th lord. So he rules your future, positional success, mantras, and also your higher self-consciousness, your ability to be more self-aware. First 8 to 9 days, Venus will be conjoined with Ketu in the 3rd house, which will increase your desire, intensify your desire. Now this forms a spiritual yoga as well. So when a relationship goes spiritual, okay, it is directionless because Ketu's direction is either upwards or downwards. It is not mapped to any of the other directions. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to continue to do journaling exercise. Use your hands to do something. So journal about gratitude, journal about good things in your life. Thereafter, on 9th of October, Venus is going to enter your 4th house. Though in its debilitation sign, but Venus will be gaining directional strength here. Now, momentarily, for a brief period, Venus will be in an exchange with Mercury for a few days, precisely 2 weeks. Now, this exchange yoga is highly auspicious for you because this is an exchange happening between the 4th lord and the 5th lord, where a Kendra lordship is involved and a trinal lordship is involved. So this is also resulting in cancellation of debility of Venus. But that doesn't mean that it will not deliver some negative results here. It will make you step out of your comfort zone, right? Thankfully, Venus gains direction. So it is not losing its signification. It is probably impacting your personal life, but it will bring a lot of positivity when it comes to work. Venus and Saturn will be in a mutual aspect. So Saturn will try to suppress things. Saturn will try to bring in a sense of sorrow or coldness in relationship. And this is something which you have to navigate because Saturn's 7th aspect when it is retrograde is extremely strong. It's a very good time for you to declutter your home, declutter your workspace and office space and protect your personal relationship. Manage your professional relationships as well. And this is how you will be able to grow. Continue to remedy Venus, worship goddess Lakshmi, use a mantra Om Lakshmyaye Namah in order to channelize these energies. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So the month of October is bringing massive changes. You have to be ready, be prepared for welcoming Devaguru Brihaspati, your 5th lord, in your Lagna, your ascendant, where it will be in its Ucharashi, exaltation, and it will also be gaining direction strength, or it is Digbali. They are blessings of Lord Shiva, and may you continue to worship him. So this is one of the most positive developments that are happening in the month of October. I'm going to talk about some important transits for you, highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect, and how you can navigate through the most in the month of October for your preparation. So 18th of October, Jupiter enters your Lagna. Before that, it is going to be making a last leg of transit in your 12th house in the sign of Gemini. So mid-October onwards, there are a number of changes that are happening because Sun is going to be changing signs. We'll see a 3-planetary conjunction in your 4th house with Sun, Mercury and Mars, with Jupiter gaining directional strength. So one thing is quite certain that second half of October, your decision making is going to be absolutely positive. I consider this, you being a movable sign, which is Chara Rashi, your decisions to be absolutely right in the second half because you will have confidence, you will have rigor, you will have energy, And most importantly, you will have the power of knowledge and wisdom. You will also be very much willing to learn. And this is where you can try and take some of the most important decisions for yourself towards the second half of the month. Besides, Venus, Rahu, Ketu, all the planets are either going to be in your quadrant houses or trinal houses, besides Moon as well, because Moon makes a fast transit and that's your Lagna Lord. But your Ascendant Lord is getting extreme support, positive support of Jupiter, which will strengthen your mind, which will strengthen your physical capability as well. But you have to watch your weight, because when Jupiter makes a gochar or a transit in the Ascendant, Jupiter is expansion. First house also represents your body related matters as well. So we tend to consume more. We start loving food, right? This could be sattvic food as well. But at the same time, you have to watch your weight and make sure that you exercise each and every day. This is also the demand of Mars. Mars or Mangal is a Yoga Karak Graha for you, the 5th Lord and the 10th Lord, making a transit in the 4th house. And he demands you to exercise, stay energized all through the day. 3 planetary conjunction in your 4th house after 17th of October. Where Mars and Sun are making conjunction. Sun is your 2nd Lord, Mars is the 10th Lord, and Mercury is the 3rd Lord. Right, 3rd and the 12th Lord. So here, any efforts that you put with regards to your work, with regards to your profession, with regards to your actions, you will see some results. Mars and Sun are forming a beautiful Dhan Yoga. Financially, it is a prosperous month for you. It is a progressive month for you, considering if you take the right decisions. Right. Sun and Mercury are forming a Buddhaditya Yoga in your 4th house in the second half of the month, which means you will focus greatly on fundamental knowledge. Right, of knowledge which could be basic in nature, but that will help you strengthen your value system, because you will go back to the basics, and it is good to go back to the basics at times. All 3 will be connected to your 10th house by the virtue of aspect. So it would demand leadership potential, communication, and a lot of energy at work. But be careful, because you are likely to develop some issues with influential people at work, either those who hold an authority or those who come with a very high education background. Maybe someone holding a pedigree. You have to be careful and just be a little cautious with such people. Okay. Now Venus and Mercury will be in a Parivartan Yoga, exchange yoga, for a couple of weeks. That's happening between your 3rd and the 4th house. It will give you mixed results. What does this mean? This Mercury is going to behave as if it's Venus sitting in the 4th house, and Venus is going to behave as if it's Mercury sitting in the 3rd house. So they've basically exchanged places. Now this is where you have to ensure that you take care of the things at your home, your assets, your vehicles, your property, your real estate. There could be some unnecessary paperwork, there could be some issues with your car, your vehicle. You have to ensure that you get that checked and you absolutely be active. First 9 days, Venus will be with Ketu in the 2nd house. Be very careful of your speech, particularly when you're talking to the opposite sex, your spouse, your partner, and other people. You might have some temperament issues here. So this could really break the relationship, so be very careful. Now next up, Venus is going to move in its debility, but momentarily it is receiving support from Mercury. Surya is not receiving cancellation of debility during the transit in Libra, but it has support of Mars for a brief period. Your Dharma trine is going to be absolutely active, because Jupiter will make a connection with the 5th and the 9th house by aspect, sitting in your Lagna. It is also aspecting Shani, Saturn, which is your 7th Lord. So somehow it will still protect your relationship in spite of all the issues that are going on. And this will promote righteousness. This will promote Dharma. This will promote Bhagya, and for you to be more spiritual than ever. So continue your spiritual practices. Any mantras that you use, that could be beneficial for you. You can use a Bija mantra of Mars, of Jupiter, or you could look up to Lord Narsimha for your protection. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this transit report from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of October? I'm going to give you the most important planetary updates, some shifts, what you could expect, highs and lows, ups and downs, and how you can navigate through the month. Let us begin with your Lord of the Ascendant, Surya, Sun. For the first half of the month, it is making a transit in the sign of Virgo that falls in your second house. For a brief period, it is also being conjoined with Venus. Alright, so Venus and Sun are making a conjunction. Now thereafter, on 9th of October, Venus is going to be entering Virgo. This is where it makes a conjunction with Sun. Before that, Venus is making a transit in your Lagna. Alright, so how you understand the energies of this transit. Now when these two come together, it does promote some sort of positivity when it comes to relationship matters. Right, you're going to be more protective of your relationship. You're going to be more diligent and loyal and also committed towards your relationship. But you have to keep your ego aside. As long as you manage your ego, your relationships are being protected through the month of October. Now on 17th of October, Surya will enter Libra, its debilitation sign, where it will be conjoined with Mercury and Mars. Though Venus is getting some support from Mercury with regards to cancellation of debility for a couple of weeks. But Surya is not getting this cancellation throughout the month of October. It will only get in November. So it lacks support. Therefore, second half of the month may be not most ideal for you to have that kind of self-confidence. But what is also happening is that there is good protection after 18th of October. Because when 18th of October, Jupiter enters your 12th house in the sign of Cancer, then from that day till early November, your Lagna or the Ascendant is hemmed between two benefics, Venus in Virgo and Jupiter in Cancer. So in spite of Ketu being present here in terms of the transit, you have a very good protection and there is a greater sense of positivity. Even if your decisions go wrong, even if you make mistakes, even if you have quarrels, argument, you are under good protection. So be rest assured, your health is going to improve, you will have more vitality, you will have more rigor, you will also have a lot more energy towards the later half of the month. Because Mars will be conjoined with your Lagna Lord Surya, forming a nice yoga because Mars is Yoga Karak for you, 4th Lord and the 9th Lord. 9th Lord conjoined with the Lagna Lord in the 3rd house. So any efforts that you put, in spite of not being confident of that effort or probably those efforts, you will still get certain results. Mercury is also dominating this conjunction because that's in the 3rd house, and Mercury is the 11th Lord, 2nd Lord, conjoined with your 9th Lord, and the Lagna Lord is also a Dhan Yoga or a Wealth Yoga in place, but this will only fructify if you put efforts and you make use of hands, maybe some artistic pursuits, artistic ventures, or something that you've been wanting to do all by yourself, because this promotes independent thinking. 3, 6, 10 and 11 are Upachaya Bhavas. These are the houses of free will. So the 3rd house promotes free will for you. Independent thinking, independent decision making, and trusting your own judgment, that is quite essential for you. You are under great protection. Saturn, that's been making a retrograde transit in your 8th house, will be under the benefic influence of Jupiter towards the 2nd half of the month, which is also protecting your personal relationship. It is protecting you from adverse situations here. Jupiter is forming a Viparita Yoga. Saturn is also forming a Viparita Yoga because Jupiter is also the 8th Lord in the 12th house. Saturn is also the 6th Lord in the 8th house. So there are some divine feminine energies that ensure your protection. So there is some amount of feminism that you will experience over the course of next few weeks. Between mid-October till mid-November, some feminine energies or a female will be responsible for your great sense of protection. And mark my words, this is something which you will experience. In case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive, you can have some growth opportunities as well by the virtue of this transit. So watch out for all the women you are connected with and try to give them as much respect and attention as you can, regardless of your gender, whether you're a male or a female. So first week you will be outgoing, you would probably want to interact with people. Thereafter, you might take a step back and be a bit reserved, right? Which is fine, but you're under great protection. Jupiter is promoting spirituality because that is activating your 4, 8, 12, the Moksha trine. engage in spiritual practices post 18th of October, you have a great chance of building consistency. If you start yoga sadhana, you could become consistent with it. Do Surya Namaskar to continue to strengthen your Lagna Lord Surya and help you move in the right direction. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this monthly transit update from ascendant sign. At the mental emotion level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Now, what is happening in the month of October? There are significant changes, including the most forward-looking transit of Jupiter in Cancer, the most exciting transit that most of the people are waiting for. But Sun will enter debility. Venus is going to enter its debilitation sign, though in an exchange or a Parivartan Yoga with Mercury. And most importantly, Saturn will be under the beneficial aspect of Jupiter later in the month. So you can expect some positivity here. But I would anticipate that the first week, 10 days, you will have greater level of confidence because of the number of planets that are making a transit in your quadrant or Kendra houses. And thereafter, Venus also coming in your ascendant. In spite of being in debility, it is giving some support in terms of ensuring that you remain interactive with other people. You remain conscious about your way of presenting to others. Now, your ascendant Lord Mercury, Buddha, most of the time it will be in Libra through the month. Though towards the end of the month, it will enter Scorpio. You've already experienced the Mercury being in Lagna, in its exaltation, Ucha, of course, giving you renewed sense of confidence. Thereafter, in Libra, it will come across two other grahas. It will be under the influence of Sun, which is a very good influence, and also the influence of Mars. Now, the three planetary conjunction in the second house, what does it mean? It means that it could create some confusion with regards to matters related to second house. That is your finances, your family. So not the most ideal time for you in the second half to make decisions pertaining to your family, pertaining to your finances, pertaining to those areas that have a personal impact on you, right? Sun and Mercury are forming a Buddha-Aditya Yoga. You can leverage this time to improve your financial knowledge. Anything that you learn with regards to your financial acumen, with regards to budget management, and how you can probably invest wisely in near future, this is where you have to head. There's plenty of Agni or fire by the virtue of Sun and Mars being conjoined in the second house, which could probably create some minor health related issues related to your diet or some food related issues that could hurt your stomach. Ensure that you keep yourself hydrated, you drink enough water, and you channelize these fiery energies. Take stock of your temperament because you could have temperamental issues over the course of next few weeks. Though Venus, that's been making a transit in your 12th house for the first 8 days of the month, it will be conjoined with Ketu. It will definitely enhance spirituality, but it could cause a bit of friction in your relationship as well. So first week, 10 days, you have to be very careful with regards to matters pertaining to your relationship. Thereafter, Venus will enter your Lagna. Though in debilitation sign, it will be in a mutual aspect with Saturn, your fifth lord, creating a very favorable yoga, which is financially prosperous. So you could see some financial stability. This will also strengthen your relationship because Venus also has an equal aspect on Saturn. So it is protecting. Saturn gains directional strength in the 7th house. And it is under the beneficial aspect of Jupiter. So towards the end of the month, your relationship are being protected. You will have high sense of desire because when Jupiter enters your 11th house on 18th of October, it will activate your 3-7-11, your Kama trine or the trine of desires. And Jupiter is an expansive planet. It's the biggest planet. So it expands your desire. It will help you put more efforts, but by the virtue of efforts, it will ensure that you use your knowledge, you use your wisdom, you use your knowledge to make your relationship better. Use the power of your wisdom and a sense of maturity because both Jupiter, Saturn, they're mature planets, right? So it gives you a sense of discipline and also the power of your knowledge. From a remedial point of view, share your knowledge with others. Teach others as much as you can at workplace, in your life. Sponsor a child's education or someone's education or do make donations related to education matters. This could be highly beneficial for you. Jupiter is also connected to the 5th house, so any mantras that you will use will be beneficial for you. For your good future, just use the simple Shani Bija, that is Om Sham, in order to channelize these energies, take control of your temperament, and take control of your physical health. You need a positive transformation. Exercise, eat right, take care of your gut, and take care of your speech throughout the month of October. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of October? Some highs and lows, ups and downs. How you can navigate through the month, because major developments and mostly positive developments are happening in the month of October, wherein Devaguru Brihaspati Jupiter will be entering its exaltation sign of Cancer on 18th of October. That falls in your 10th house. One thing is quite certain, you being a Chara Rashi or a movable sign, second half of October, so between mid-October till mid-November, is a very good time for you to make some important decisions, because your level of confidence is going to be very high. Things at work are likely to progress well. You will have communication, because there are 4 planets making a transit in your ascendant: Sun, Mercury, Mars and Jupiter. So that is predominantly applicable from 17th, 18th of October throughout the month. So a very good time for you to make all these decisions. Mercury will be sitting in your Lagna, where it gains directional strength, and it will have a 3 planetary yoga with Sun and Mars. Surya is the natural significator of the Lagna. Mars is the natural ruler of Lagna. Now this 3 planetary conjunction will put huge focus on your health, your vitality, your immunity. Sun and Mars are the protector of your vitality or the immunity. Mercury could bring in some issues, minor health issues, or probably you need to get yourself checked. But most likely you are going to develop good inner strength, and that will reflect in your outer confidence as well. You'll be more confident about dealing with people, about interacting with others. You will be more confident when you're learning, because there's a Buddha yoga in your ascendant, and when Sun and Mars form a yoga, there is too much fire in your ascendant. So you'll be very passionate about anything that you would do in your life towards the second half of month. Mercury is also your 9th lord. It's going to be making a transit in your ascendant, forming a nice yoga that could support Bhagya, that will support progression. In the second half, your 11th house will also be under Shubh Yoga. That could give you some good news with regards to your finances, with regards to your financial growth as well as development. Now, where you have to be slightly careful. Venus, for the first 8 to 9 days, is conjoined with Ketu, that is happening in your 11th house. Now it's a good Venus in the 11th house, but it is under affliction of Ketu, that is your ascendant lord. So the first 10 days, it's not the most ideal time for you to make important decisions. You could have temperamental issues, you might move away from people, you might cut ties from some friends, you might become spiritual, or you probably might be attracted to other spiritual people for relationship, right? But when any relationship becomes spiritual, it is directionless, and this is where you have to be careful. Thereafter, your ascendant lord Venus will be moving in your 12th house. In the 12th house, it will be in Virgo, and for a brief period, it will be conjoined with Surya. Now, in Virgo, Venus is Nicha or debilitated. But by default, the debility is cancelled because this is happening in the 12th house. That doesn't mean that it will start delivering good results, alright? Venus relatively does better in the 12th house because it is also the natural house where Venus gets exalted. So it is not the most uncomfortable position for Venus. For 2 weeks, it will be in an exchange with Mercury. But this exchange is happening between your 1st and the 12th house. So Mercury will start behaving as if it's Venus sitting in your ascendant. So it's quite positive for you because that will bring in a sense of eloquence and interaction. Therefore, second half is extremely beneficial time period for you. Between 10th till 25th, 28th of October particularly is a very good time period for you. You will also enhance your spiritual quotient. You will become more spiritual. You will probably get into new practices of yoga, sadhana. You must donate. Donate towards children, donate green food items because Venus is sitting in Virgo. It will help strengthen your relationship. It will give you a lot of protection. You can also feed the cows with some green, leafy vegetables. You could do that from a remedial point of view because Jupiter is making a transit in your 10th house. And Jupiter is also one of the significator of the 10th house, where it represents knowledge and wisdom at work. And from this time till the end of October and also till beginning of December, Jupiter will be aspecting Saturn by the 9th special aspect. Saturn is a Yoga Karaka Graha for you, so it is getting huge support and a huge boost from Jupiter. It will help you overcome your enemies. It will help you overcome competition. It could help you get new, bigger, better employment opportunities, or it will promote job opportunities for you. So very good time period between mid-October to mid-November to go for new opportunities, to apply for new jobs, and to manifest the kind of role that you've been looking forward to, right? From a remedial point of view, continue to strengthen Venus, your Lagna Lord, worship Goddess Lakshmi, and may you have a pleasant time ahead. Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of October? There are some major developments that are happening, mostly positive. Beginning with the transit of Jupiter that is happening on 18th of October, it is entering its exaltation sign. Mars is going to be making a more progressive transit in Libra, and towards the end of the month, it will enter your ascendant. So of course, you could see some progressive time period thereafter. Sun will be changing signs from Virgo to Libra. Venus will move in its stability and in an exchange or a Parivartan Yoga with Mercury. So major developments are there. My role here is to help you navigate through this month. Some highs and lows, ups and downs. How you could deal with these energies. Jupiter, who is your 5th lord. So it's an important planet. It also is the 2nd lord. So it plays a very important role in financial matters. It's a favorable planet for you because it rules your future, progress. It has been making a transit in the 8th house, which relatively is a difficult transit, but now it will enter your 9th house. Jupiter is the significator of 9th house because he represents fortune, he represents bhagya, and he is also in a yoga during this time. It is a positive yoga, it is a positive development which is promoting financial welfare, which is promoting your finances to strengthen. It is also activating your dharma trine, which will make you more giving in nature, which will make you take the right decisions, follow the path of ethics, righteousness, and be the protector of your dharma. Momentarily, see, because when Jupiter is alone, it does affect the house as well, a bit negatively. It can cause some harm. But as long as you protect your dharma, your religion, your path of righteousness, your duty, there is no looking back. Because there is great protection that Jupiter is giving between October through December by aspecting your ascendant. Your decisions are going to be right. And Jupiter is also aspecting your 5th house, where there is a retrograde Saturn. Momentarily, if you've stepped out of your comfort zone, if you've started something new, if you've probably suddenly you've come across with a lot of people and you're feeling uncomfortable, now you'll start building your confidence and try to make things easy for you, take things by ease. Now Venus is going to be conjoined with Ketu in your 10th house for the first 8 days of the month, wherein you have to watch your relationships at work, because there could be quarrels, there could be argument, there could be unnecessary issues with bosses, with leaders, with those people who hold an authority. But after 18th of October, your 10th house is under Shubh Yoga, because it will be hemmed between Jupiter and Venus. So till that time, there are issues with work related relationship or people at work. Be very careful. After that, you have a very good opportunity to strengthen relationship, to make your presence felt, to influence other people, because Venus and Sun will be making a conjunction in your 11th house for a brief period, wherein you have the capacity to influence other people. Though Venus will be in debility, but it is also in the 11th house. It will give you good material results, mundane level results. It will still deliver. It is also in a mutual aspect with Saturn. So you must remember that Shani is being aspected by Jupiter and also Venus for a few days, which is making things very positive with regards to any delays. Things will progress, things will move ahead. Future planning, future goal setting is quite pivotal for you. It is quite essential for you because both Jupiter and Venus would promote this future planning, and this is how you should read this transit. Sun, who's your 10th lord, will be in the 11th house. Thereafter, it will move to your 12th house. You will see a 3 planetary conjunction in your 12th house with Sun, your Lagna Lord Mars, and Mercury. So it is time to enhance your spiritual knowledge, spiritual education, embrace spirituality. Because you might not feel so confident about things, but it's a good time to become more self-aware. Your inner self-consciousness, because your 6-12 axis is going to be quite active. Okay, Sun and Mercury forming a Bodhaditya Yoga is promoting spiritual knowledge. It is also promoting your ability to donate, to help others. Donate things or items that are related to Venus. Donate sugar, white items, right? Particularly sugar could be very good to those who need, or probably you can give it to a place of worship, a gurdwara or a temple. That would be highly beneficial for you, and it will protect your personal relationship as well. Sun and Mercury are forming a very nice yoga that is happening in the 12th house. It might not deliver material results here, but spiritually there's a lot of Agni, there's a lot of fire. If you start some practices, you can be consistent with these practices. Look up to Shri Hari, Lord Vishnu. A Dwadash Akshari mantra will be absolutely beneficial for you during this time, which is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He is the one who will continue to guide you and protect you. Towards the end of the day, this is how you will channelize Mars's energy. Watch your sleep. Make sure that you get good 7 to 8 hours of sleep in order to ensure that you're active and energized all through the day. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this transit report from the ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. The month of October is bringing renewed sense of enthusiasm and optimism in our lives, most importantly. Because your Lagna Lord will go through a major transit. It will be a short transit, but it would give you some sort of feeler of possibly the kind of transformation you can expect in the year 2026 and 2027. Now let's begin with the Lord of your ascendant, Jupiter himself. For the first 17 days, or the first half of the month, it will make a transit in your 7th house in Gemini, where it loses direction, all right? But it will be at the highest degree. So it will give you some knowledge, some wisdom, some important advice or an actionable step to improve your relationship, to mend those ties, to call for a permanent fixture in terms of your personal relationship. Though it is not considered the most ideal planet in the 7th house because it becomes weak, but it is giving good protection on your ascendant, on your Lagna. First half of the month, your decisions are still going to be very right. They're going to be positive because a number of planets in your quadrant house, including Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, and thereafter you will also have Venus entering your 10th house. So your decision making first half is going to be very positive. You will have confidence, you will have patience, you will have rigor, you will have leadership potential. On 18th of October, Jupiter enters your 8th house. The Lagna Lord and the 4th Lord entering the 8th house of transformation, suddenness, though it's in the exaltation sign. Therefore, I expect this to bring positive transformation for you and you to get involved in spiritual practices. You to also significantly change your diet, what you eat, what you consume. Because Jupiter is connecting with your 2nd house by an aspect, but that's only 25%. It's not very strong. Its 5th and 9th aspect are very strong, which is 100%. Jupiter is activating the 4, 8, 12, the moksha trine or the trine of spirituality for you. So it will help you enhance spiritual practices. It will also help you become more giving in nature, to help others, to make donations, because it aspects your 12th house and it aspects your 4th house. So of course, it is not only promoting spirituality, but donations and giving away begins from your home. It could be an excellent time period for you to declutter your home, clean up those things that you don't need and give it away for donation. So Jupiter promotes positive transformation, but be prepared for certain suddenness, because you will step out of your comfort zone and you will have to do some things which you have never done before. This could be work related, this could be to deal with your personal life as well. You'll have to take some decisions in a very quick successive manner, or in a very quick succession. You will not have so much time to think through while making these decisions. Let's talk about Mars or Mangal, who's again an important planet for you because that's your 5th lord and the 12th lord. So he's the one who rules future. Mars will be most of the time making a transit in Libra. Towards the end of the month, it will enter Scorpio, but for this time, there is a 3 planetary conjunction that we will witness in your 11th house. Mars, the 5th lord, will make a conjunction with Surya, who is your 9th lord, in the 11th house, where Mercury is also involved. So if you're married, this time period, the month of October, is extremely positive for your spouse. They can have some financial rise, positional growth, because both of these planets are connected with your 7th lord Mercury, giving it a huge boost. Now you will become more dharmic, you will become more spiritual, because both Sun and Mars also are promoting spirituality, because these are your trinal lords making a transit in the 11th house. So financially, it is a very stable month, particularly the second half. I don't expect, much of a hassle or problems or concerns for you. First half, yes, there could be some relationship issues because Venus is conjoined with Ketu in your 9th house. So you have to watch your personal relationships. Thereafter, Venus will enter your 10th house, where it will be in debility. But there is an exchange between Venus and Mercury, 10 and 11 house exchange, which is quite auspicious. Now, both of these planets are not very auspicious or the ideal planets in your case. But since there are a number of energies in the 10th house and the 11th house, so for your work, for your career, professional front, you will see some growth happening later in the month. Venus will also be in a mutual aspect with Saturn. So you need to ensure that as much as discipline you have at home, you have an equal amount of discipline at your work in order to balance these things out. Continue to strengthen your 9th lord Sun, offer water to Sun first thing in the morning, be consistent at it in order to sail through the most during this time. Capricorn ascendant signs, or the Capricorn moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this monthly update from the ascendant sign. Primarily at the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of October? There are significant planetary shifts that are happening, mostly positive. There is a renewed sense of optimism that Jupiter's transit is going to bring for all of us, and I'm here to make you understand these energies and how you can make the most of this time. Now let us begin with Saturn, who is your Lagna lord and the 2nd lord. Saturn for you rules yourself, your vitality, your immunity, who you are. It is your Dhi Shakti, your conscious brain, your decision making, your knowledge, your intelligence. Shani has been making a Vakri transit or a retrograde transit in your 3rd house. In 3rd house, Saturn is never good, because unless you get guidance, unless you get some direction, unless you get some advice or mentorship, things don't really work positive for you. So this is something which should be quite continuous throughout the transit of Saturn. Now, while it is retrograde, momentarily it will also come under the positive aspect of Jupiter and also Venus. So on 9th of October, Venus enters Virgo. It will be in a mutual aspect with your Lagna lord Shani. Your 3-9 axis will be active, will be involved, which could trigger travel opportunities. That could trigger you going on a journey. Journey doesn't necessarily mean that you will travel. You could start a new project, you could start a new assignment, or you could step into a new line of work as well. 18th of October, Jupiter enters your 7th house in Cancer. It will also be aspecting your Lagna lord Saturn by the 9th special aspect. So, second half of the month, your decision making is going to be good, because your Lagna lord is in strength. He is naturally getting positive guidance from Jupiter and Venus. So it's a forward-looking time period for you. Moreover, there will be a number of planets in your Kendra or quadrant houses, which means that will promote good decision making, that will give you confidence, it will give you knowledge, wisdom, because there is Jupiter, Mercury, Sun as well as Mars. So you need to look forward to it. Bhagya is going to be supportive in spite of a debilitated Venus being there. Now see, the first week, 10 days, you have to protect your relationship. Venus and Ketu are making a transit in the 8th house, right? 7th house is your relationship, 8th house is where it ends. It is as simple as that. So this complex conjunction could make you shift away from your relationship. So be careful and try to let this time pass. Thereafter, Venus will enter your 9th house. In spite of being in debility, it is going to promote Bhagya. This is an exceptional circumstances for you because Venus and Mercury will be in an exchange. And this exchange is called the Dharma Karma Parivartan Yoga, which is a very powerful yoga. So between 9th of October till the last week of October is an extremely positive time period for you for work related developments, because Bhagya will be fortunate, and at the same time you could have some work related developments because Mercury will act as if it's Venus sitting in the 10th house, and Venus will act as if it's Mercury sitting in the 9th house, elevating your fortune and promoting good decisions when it comes to your work, your profession, your actions, your duties. If you've been looking for a new opportunity, this could very well be the time wherein you would see some positive developments to happen. And there could be a movement, there could be a shift as well. Now that would depend on your ongoing Dasha Antardasha, and also second half of the month, Jupiter is bringing great protection in your ascendant. Though making a transit in the 7th house, it will be activating your 3, 7, 11, the Kama trine. You will have high sense of desire. You need to ensure that you channelize these desires. Channelize to the best of your capacity. The 3 planetary conjunction in your 10th house with Mercury, Sun and Mars. This is where Sun and Mars gain directional strength, or their Digbali, alright, which promotes leadership, authority, and also a lot of energy at work. You will have plenty of energy at work. You will demonstrate leadership potential, too much fire. But with this fire, it could lead to conflicts as well. It could lead to some debates, some arguments. As long as you keep your temperament at check, drink plenty of water, keep yourself hydrated when you're at work, drink liquids, try to do some exercise, meditation, yoga, sadhana first thing in the morning, so that you're channelizing your energies, or do that towards the end of the day, whatever works best for you. Sun and Mars both gain directional strength in the 10th house, and they're forming a yoga. Though Surya is your 8th lord, but this could bring in new unconventional opportunities, and things could progress all of a sudden. Suddenly you might get something. Suddenly you might get some good news. Hoping for the best. This is how you need to look at these energies, but be careful of some authority or leadership related issues. Try and stay grounded. Try and stay humble all through the time. Look forward to strengthening your Venus. Worship Goddess Lakshmi. Read Shri Suktam on a daily basis. This is how you will be able to channelize this month very well. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. In the month of October, I am here to give you the most important planetary updates, some highs and lows, ups and downs, what you can expect, how you can make the most of the month of October by navigating through these energies. There are a number of developments that are happening. There are some positive developments, there are some not so positive developments as well. And this is how we'll have a holistic view. Let's begin with your Lord of the Ascendant, Shani or Saturn. Saturn's already making a retrograde transit or a Vakri transit in Pisces. That is happening in your 2nd house. Saturn is your Lagna Lord and the 12th Lord. So it rules yourself and also your ability to give away. It rules your body, your vitality, your immunity, and also the house of your sleep and bed comforts and expenses and losses. It is making a transit in the Dhan Bhav. Of course, while going retrograde, it is looking back at your ascendant and trying to ensure that you transform yourself, that you bring in a sense of discipline in your life. You look back at your past decisions and how you can fix some of those decisions. It is also making a huge connection with your 8th house by a strong aspect, which promotes discipline in your transformation. Now what is happening is that the first half of the month, you still have to be careful because not the most ideal time for you to take some decisions. But when Venus will enter Virgo, that is happening on 9th of October, it will be in a mutual aspect with Saturn. So this is where Saturn gets some benefic support. Venus would lose some of it because Venus rules your 4th house and the 9th house. So you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to take care of your father's health or the relationship with your father or with your guru or some sort of blockages that you could feel in educational pursuits. In case you're going for higher education, this period can have some blockage. But Saturn's getting good support. So your decision making is going to be good. Your level of confidence is going to increase. Thereafter, on 18th of October, Jupiter enters Cancer and it will be also aspecting your ascendant lord Saturn. So Saturn will get the both benefic energies of Jupiter as well as Venus, which makes it all the more good for you from a physical standpoint, mentally and emotionally as well. You will focus on good health, good vitality. If you've had any past health issues, you will see a solution to those health issues depending on your ongoing Dasha Antardasha. The time period is supportive, it is positive. Jupiter in the 6th house is going to be aspecting the 2nd house and the 10th house. So it is promoting and activating your Artha Trine, which is the 2, 6 and 10 trinal houses. These are the houses of work. These are the houses of finances, your wealth, and of course all the mundane material life. So you can expect positive development in your finances in terms of work related, job related growth as well. That can happen towards the end of October or early November. This is how you would probably read the transit. So second half is quite positive from a personal point of view. Venus for the first week 10 days is with Ketu in the 7th house, though he is the significator of the 7th house, but momentarily you have to be careful because there could be some quarrels, arguments, some sort of difference of opinion with your partner, with your spouse or those people who are opposite to you. So stay low-key. If you were to isolate yourself, you can do that. Protect yourself from external environment, from external people. You will eventually overcome, but that will happen at a later stage. Venus thereafter will enter your 8th house in the debilitation sign on 9th of October, where it is also getting cancellation of debility being in the 8th house. So this is a Neech Manga Yoga. That doesn't mean that Venus is out of debility. You will have to stay out of your comfort zone, step out of your comfort zone, do something that you've never done before. Embrace transformation, be change ready. This is quite important for you if you were to elevate your Bhagya. Focus on free will because fortune is not going to be very favorable for you towards the later part of month. It will be more reliant on your independent thinking, your independent decision making. Take things in your own hands. Mercury is also having an exchange with Venus, but this is an 8-9 exchange. It will mostly give you mixed results. Venus is getting some support momentarily for a couple of weeks. Mercury is in a very good yoga with Sun in the 9th house, a beautiful Buddha-Aditya yoga. So it is very good for your spouse, for educational pursuits. So your partner or spouse can have some success in education related matters. Sun and Mars forming a yoga in the 9th house. This could cause some obstruction with your dharma, with your religion, your duty, your path of righteousness. Make sure that you protect your dharma. You be the protector of your dharma and continue to strengthen Mercury. Though out of the three, Mercury has a greater say, greater strength because it's in friendly sign. Surya is debilitated. So continue to look up to Mercury, use Bij mantra of Mercury or a Vishnu mantra. It could be Om Vishnave Namah or Om Namo Narayanaya. Whatever mantra you closely associate yourself to would work very good for you because Mercury is your 5th lord. You have to continue to look up to it and continue to strengthen it to the best of your capacity. This month can also, in the later second half of the month, can bring new travel opportunities for you. But when you're traveling, you have to take care of yourself. You could have some health related issues during that time or take care of your belongings when you're traveling, and may you have a pleasant time ahead. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So I'm here to give you the update for the month of October, highs and lows, ups and downs, and how you can navigate through the month, which is bringing a renewed sense of optimism in this world. Now, most importantly, we will begin with the transit of your ascendant lord Jupiter. which is bringing a huge shift for a brief period. It is like a trailer for what possibly can happen towards the second half of 2026 and also in 2027. Jupiter is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. It rules yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity. Jupiter also becomes the 10th Lord of your karma, your actions in the society, your work, professions, duty, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in the world. So of course, it's the most important planet for you, and regardless of whatever time period you are running, Jupiter's transit is going to have an impact. After 12 long years, Jupiter will enter Cancer, which falls in your 5th house. It is moving from your 4th house. So the first 17 days of the month, Jupiter continues its momentum in the 4th house, which is also positive for you. It will give you some sort of beneficial results towards the last leg of its transit while it is making this move. So expect some sort of benefit in your comfort zone, at your home, related to your assets. Now, first half, you will also be a little bit more confident than you could usually be, because there are a number of planets in your quadrant houses: Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Mercury. So of course, this is something which you have to look up to so you can make some decisions in the first half of the month. 18th of October, Jupiter enters your 5th house in its exaltation sign. He is also the significator of the 5th house. Jupiter will be aspecting your Lagna or the Ascendant by the 9th special aspect. So this is where it will give you huge protection. There is Saturn making a retrograde transit in your Lagna, which will be aspected by Jupiter, and after 9th of October, it will also be aspected by Venus by its 7th aspect. So your Lagna is under good protection, and by the virtue of benefic aspect, you could make some of the good decisions in your life as well. So throughout the month of October, I do expect some sort of positivity. If you've had delayed results with regards to personal work, some paperwork, some movement related to assets, property matters, or work related delays, now you will see things moving forward. Jupiter is also aspecting your 9th house. It will support and promote Bhagya and your fortune. This is activating the Dharma trine, the trine of righteousness, doing things right, making you more religious, making you more dharmic, and being very well connected to your roots. This is how you will read these energies. Now, let's also look at the transit of Mars. Mars is your 2nd Lord and the 9th Lord, the one who rules your Dhan Bhava and the Bhagya Bhava. So it plays a very important role in financial matters. Mars is making a transit in the 8th house. So 9th Lord in the 8th house is loss of Bhagya. So you don't have to be reliant on fortune for the majority of the month of October. The message is very clear that you have to take things in your own hands. Towards the end of October, Mars, yes, will enter your 9th house. It will be in a very strong disposition. Your trines are going to be absolutely so active at that point in time, which will ensure some financial gains. But before that, it is time for you to transform. It is time for you to face adversities. There's the 3 planetary conjunction in your 8th house, where there is Mars, Mercury, and Sun. Mercury has a greater say here, so it is somehow overpowering Mars. Continue to strengthen Jupiter. Use Jupiter's mantra, who is your Lagna Lord. A simple mantra, Om Guruve Namah, 12 times could be absolutely beneficial for you. Or use a Narayan mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. He is the one who will guide you and protect you. But of course, this could cause some sort of suddenness and for you to face with adversities. Mercury is in a Parivartan Yoga with Venus, who will be making a transit in your 7th house. Venus will be in debility, but it is in the house where it is the significator of that house. So 7 and 8 house Parivartan Yoga is not the most auspicious. Expect challenges in terms of your personal relationship for you to navigate through these times. Yes, if you've not been in a relationship, you do have an opportunity to step into a new relationship, but be very careful of the opposite sex, wherein there could be some issues, there could be some trust related issues. So take your time. When you develop that kind of understanding with the other person, then probably take things forward. So be careful during this time. Face your adversities, overcome your weaknesses. But there is very good protection that is there on your ascendant, which is a progressive time period for you. Look up to Jupiter, embrace all qualities related to Jupiter, follow the path of righteousness, your dharma, your duty. Most importantly, see the second half, your 6th house is also under great protection because it will be hemmed between Jupiter as well as Venus. So health related matters will be absolutely positive. You don't need to be worried about the 3 planetary conjunction in the 8th house for any chronic illness because your 6th house has great protection. You could repay your debts, you could focus on better health and immunity, and that should be the focus of the hour, and my best wishes for you. So friends, this was the monthly transit update for the month of October. I hope and believe the month of October brings in renewed energies and a sense of increased optimism in our life. Stay tuned for more such videos on my channel. Thank you very much. God bless you all.